On July 19th of 2021, Tatsuki Fujimoto's one-shot entitled Look Back was published in Shueisha's Shonen Jump Plus. The manga was received incredibly well by both longtime fans of Fujimoto, as well as fans who had only really heard his name through his more popular and adequately more, deranged works, I guess. I'm not really sure. There's a very stark contrast between stories like Chainsaw Man or Fire Punch when compared to Look Back, and in case there were doubts about Fujimoto being able to write a more simple, grounded story, this one-shot is here as proof that he can tone it back while still delivering that classic, charming, and gratifying way of drawing and telling stories that really only Tatsuki Fujimoto can do. Okay, that's enough Fujimoto glazing for today. I think I did my fair share of that in my last video, which if you haven't seen, you should go check out. By the way, it's about Chainsaw Man Part 2, go check it out. But on a real note, Tatsuki Fujimoto is probably my favorite mangaka. He is for sure the mangaka I've read the most works from, whether it be his catalog of one-shots or his longer series. His works tend to really resonate with me, and clearly I'm not the only one, seeing that he has had quite the meteoric rise in popularity over the past couple of years. Truly deserved for an artist of his stature. Alright, for real, that's the last time I'll be meet writing him this video. No more shaboing boing starting now. Sorry, what was this video about? I wanted to take a look back at Look Back, and yes, there are already likely thousands of voices on the internet who have analyzed every drop of ink that was put into this one-shot. So to add my own wrinkle into this fold, I'd like to examine Look Back alongside another manga one-shot, also by Tatsuki Fujimoto, called Imouto no ane, or just simply Sisters as it's called in Fujimoto's 22 through 26 one-shot collection where I originally read it. And yes, there will be spoilers for both of these going forward, so if you haven't already, I highly recommend that you read both pieces, or at the very least, look back before continuing with this video. They're both relatively short, and I guarantee you won't be disappointed. I'm going to assume that there are more people who have read Look Back compared to the amount of people who have read Sisters, so if you haven't read Sisters and have decided to continue watching this video nonetheless, let's just grab a quick synopsis of the thing to fill you guys in real quick. How about here, from the same website I got this panel of the manga from. Anime Planet says that it's about a sibling who draw a naked drawing of each other. Okay, well that's not wrong, but I feel like it gives the story a pretty bad rap off rip. Sisters follows Mitsuko, elder sister to Anzu, as she's publicly embarrassed by her younger sister after Anzu wins an art contest. The contest rewards her by giving her the honor of having her winning piece hung up at her school's entrance for the whole year. The only problem with this, as Mitsuko would find out, is that the winning art piece that her sister decided to submit is a nude portrait of Mitsuko. And so, along with all the comedic situations that arise because of this, Mitsuko plots her revenge and vows to teach her younger sister a lesson by winning the next art competition with a nude portrait of Anzu. As this one-shot progresses, we see Mitsuko laboring over honing her skills, studying all aspects of art so that she can enact her vengeful master plan. Eventually, she goes straight to the source of her problem, her little sister Anzu. And it was made clear earlier that the two weren't on the best terms. But through their dialogue and the thoughts that Mitsuko has after their encounter, we see the true heart of this story and a core theme that can be directly translated into Look Back. You see, in the end, Mitsuko can't paint her little sister nude. She cites the nature of her relationship with her sister as the reasoning for this. Growing up, Mitsuko always led the way and her younger sister always followed suit. But over time, it seemed to Mitsuko that Anzu slowly began catching up to her. The talents and ambitions of her younger sister were beginning to eclipse those of her own, and it kind of ate her up inside. It made Mitsuko feel uncomfortable. Near the end of the one-shot, Mitsuko is staring out into the naked, painted version of herself when Anzu's teacher approaches her. In their short conversation, the teacher reveals that this painting was a product of an assignment where students were tasked to paint their own personal goal. This information changes something in Mitsuko. You can see it in her face, in her eyes. And then we get it. A panel of Mitsuko sitting with her back towards the reader, slaving away on her art project. This singular panel is beautiful down to the lines that illuminate Mitsuko's work. And it's with this panel that many of you who have read Look Back are probably confirming your suspicions that these two manga are 100% connected. I mean, Fujimoto basically says as much in the author's note at the end of his previously mentioned 22 to 26 one-shot collection. And if you've read both stories, you've likely also picked up on the familiar feeling that scenes between the two manga have. The relationship between Mitsuko and Anzu very much so mirrors the one between Fujino and Kyomoto in Look Back. From the conversations where one of the girls convinces the other to continue pursuing art because they're skilled at it, to scenes where one girl tells the other that she is incapable of doing something. Between the pairs of girls, I believe it's most accurate to say that Fujino and Mitsuko are parallels of each other, and Kyomoto and Anzu are the other matching pair. Not just down to their positions in their respective stories either, but also with their appearances, with Fujino and Mitsuko rocking shorter hair, and Kyomoto and Anzu having longer hair. You could sit here and tackle similarities between the two one-shots all day, but I think all of that would be meaningless if we didn't indulge in discussing what these similarities actually mean in the context of the story that Tatsuki Fujimoto is trying to tell. It's been debated online about what the message behind Look Back actually is. I've compiled some of the most common theories I've seen online here. First, there is the belief that Look Back was made to mimic Fujimoto's real-life experiences as a mangaka and as an artist. And so the story delves into what it is that makes him keep going in an industry as rough as the manga industry. This theory can be supported by things like Fujimoto's name being a fusion dance of Fujino and Kyomoto's names. Another one is that Look Back was created as a tribute to the lives lost in the tragic Kyoto Animation's arson attack back in 2019. And yeah, Look Back was released 2 years to the day of the terrorist attack. And of course, the Axeman scene within the actual manga draws many similarities to what unfortunately happened in real life. One last interpretation of Look Back stems from the first one we discussed. This one is more about it representing Fujimoto's own artistic endeavors. Basically, Look Back explores the purpose behind the creation of really any form of art. And this too would make sense as art takes center stage in not only Look Back but also in Sisters, which we know is directly related to Look Back. The characters within the stories traverse their worlds with the help of their skills and attributes as artists. So, which one is Look Back actually about? Well, all of them. Look Back can be interpreted in any way that any reader deems fit, regardless of what Fujimoto's original intent was. I think that in itself is the defining feature and purpose of art. If I had to pick out a singular message between both Look Back and Sisters, though, it would have to be that art affects people. Art has power. No, not that power. I mean, genuine power. Art can bring people together. It can tear people apart. Art can translate ideas from one person to another with an efficiency that, when done right, no other human language can compare to. In Sisters, art drives a wedge between Mitsuko and Anzu, and yet it's through art that Mitsuko is able to articulate her complicated feelings towards her sister and mend that bridge between them. In Look Back, art is almost split up into two roads that creatives find themselves on when pursuing art. Fujino continuing to make manga because that's her career now, and Kyomoto feeling the need to stray away from Fujino to become a more independent person and, by going to school, a more well-rounded artist. But when Kyomoto, who embodies doing it for the sheer love of art, is tragically lost, it forces Fujino to step away from her manga for a while. It makes her reassess why she was drawing all of this in the first place. In both of these one-shots, art influences our main characters to take a look back at the relationships they have with whom they care about the most. It pushes both Mitsuko and Fujino alike to not hold these negative feelings when reminiscing about their pasts. Art, whether it be in the form of nude portraits or a best-selling manga, grabs a microphone and yells at our protagonists. Hey, don't look back in anger, that's right, the true purpose of Look Back was just Fujimoto making a fucking Oasis reference. But no, not looking back in anger is a real message that you can take away from both of these works, I guess more specifically Look Back. And with the Look Back movie releasing in Japan literally tomorrow if this video goes up on time, I anticipate many videos attempting to cash in on this timing and get gifted by the YouTube algorithm, much like I'm doing right now. But I also anticipate that many of those other videos will be strictly looking at Look Back. So to make sure that I don't fit in and I embody the goldfish that hops from the crowded bowl into the empty one, I decided to tie in another one of Fujimoto's one-shots, Sisters. These two one-shots are some of my favorite, and I think when they're held side by side like this, my enjoyment of them only increases. And what's so great is that you can take so much away from Sisters, even if it's under like 50 pages or whatever it is. People are going to resonate with Look Back in so many different ways, whether they're viewing it through the movie or the manga. It's stories like these that can truly extend one's horizons on the capabilities of art, and maybe even make them take a look back at the people and things that matter most to them in their lives. Or again, this could all just be an Oasis reference, and we're all overthinking it. You truly never know when it comes to Fujimoto and his writing. He's always very talented when it comes to putting these intricacies in his stories, where there's multiple layers of characters.
Dick riding, bro. That's all you literally talk about.
Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is going to be a shorter outro. Subscribe, like, smash like, comment what you think about both of these stories. Yeah, that's the outro. Okay, bye.